All right, so we're going to um, simplify radicals and we're going to rationalize uh, fractions with radicals. So first is we're going to simplify. Let's say we have um, square root of 54 minus square root of 24 minus square root of 150. So if it's uh, all radicals, you cannot subtract it unless it's the same radicals, meaning inside this must be the same. The radical signs must be the same. It's all the same. It's square root, so no problem. But what's inside is different. So we are going to simplify it first to make it the same. So we're going to break it into smaller values. So 54, we can write it as that's 9 times 6. 24 can be written as 6 times 4, 24, or 3 times 8. But I want to write it in 6 times 4 because there is a common number 6, unlike the 3 times 8. Um, Here it can be written as, well, we'll just make it first 15 times 10 because it's obvious. So next is we are going to um, write the 9 into 3 squared times 6. Here is 4 times 6. The 4 can be written as 2 squared. So I'll just rearrange it. Write the 2 squared first. And here, what we want here is to retain the 6 so that it's all 6. We will just break it further so we can see the 6 later. So 3 times 5 and 5 times 2. 15 is 3 times 5. 10 is 5 times 2. Alright, so here we can take out the 3 because it's 3 squared and it will be cancelled with the square root, the exponent 2 and the square root. So that's why it's 3 and then 6 will be left inside. The same with the 2, 2 square root of 6. But here we can combine the 5 and 5 so that it becomes 5 squared and the 3 times 2 is 6. So this will be 5 squared times, sorry. So this will be 5 squared times 6. So let's copy everything. Except for 5 squared, we can take it out. So it becomes 5 squared of 6. Since it's all the same radicals, that means we can combine now. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So 1 squared of 6, or just simply squared of 6, minus 5 squared of 6. So we combine this first. And then combine square root of 6 minus 5 square root of 6. So if there's no number here, it means 1. So 1 minus 5 is negative 4. And then copy the radicals. So that is the simplified form. Negative 4 square root of 6. So that is number 1. So we'll have around 3 examples here. Number 2, negative 2xy square root of 28x cubed plus 3x square root of 63x y squared minus 3 is square root of 112 x cubed y squared. Alright, so after that, again, what we are after is we want to make it the same radicals inside. Alright, so let's break what's inside. the square root, since it's square root, so that means what we want is an exponent of 2 or multiples of 2. So we can separate 28 into 4 times 7. X cubed can be written as x squared times x, so that the x squared can be taken out. And then copy plus 3x square root of 63 can be written as 9 times 7. Then x and then y squared minus 3 times 3 square root of, all right, so 112 is how can we separate this 112? I think it's divisible by 7. Am I correct? Because what we want is to retain a 7 inside, so that it's the same. So maybe it's divisible by 7. So 11 minus 7 is 4. Bring down 2. 42 divided by 7 is 6. All right, so it's true. It's divisible by 7. So that means it's 16 times 7 to get 112. Times the x cubed, we can separate it as x squared and x. And then y squared. Okay, so let's erase this. One. Next, we are going to simplify it further. So negative 2xy square root of 4 can be written as 2 squared times 7x squared x plus the 9 can be written as 3 squared. And then copy the rest. And then here 16 can be written as 4 squared. And then copy the rest. Alright, so what we did there is just to put the values into square so that we can take it out from the square root. Next is we can take out the 2 squared, the x squared, because it is having an exponent, a multiple of 2. So we can take it out. So it becomes 2 outside, so 2 times 2 is 4, so it becomes negative 4. The x can be taken out, so it becomes x times x, x squared. Then the y will just be the same. So what's left inside is only 7 and x. So we'll just reduce the square root symbol. It's too long. And then next term, wait, I think I write it directly. Sorry. So we can take out the 3 squared and the y squared. So the 3 will be taken out, so it will be multiplied by the 3 outside. 3 times 3 is 9. And also the y. Since it's y squared, so it will be taken out as y. So there is x already, we'll just copy it and the y will be taken out. So what's left inside? Oh wait, I made it too long again. Is 7x. Next, last term, we have 4 squared, x squared, and y squared. We can take it all out. So the 4 will be multiplied with 3, it becomes 12. The x will be taken out and also the y. What's inside left is 7 and x. So we have 7x and I've written it again very long. Hey, sorry. So 7x. Alright, so the radical symbols are the same, square root of 7x, which is what we are after. And we can combine now. We can combine the coefficient, meaning the one at their side. So negative 4x squared y plus 9xy minus 12xy. Now we cannot combine the negative 4x squared y with the others because it is having x squared. This is x. Okay, so what we can combine only is the 9 and the negative 12xy. While the 4xy is a kind of different. So we cannot do with anything with that. So we'll just copy it. Negative 4x squared y square root of 7x. And then we combine 9 and negative 12. So it becomes negative 3 xy squared of 7x. Next is we cannot combine them, but at least we can put it together. Okay, so meaning we cannot combine the values negative 4x squared y minus 3xy. Okay, but we put it together so that it's only one radical sign, square root of 7x. So that is what I'm talking about. So we put them together in one parenthesis, and the radical symbol will be only one, but we didn't combine them. So that's it. So that's the final answer. Next is another example is this 2 squared of 8x and then over square root of 6. So what we're after here is to rationalize. If you say rationalize, we want the denominator to be no radical sign. So it doesn't matter for the numerator as long as the denominator won't have a radical sign, or meaning square root, cube root, and so on. So in this case, it's a square root. So to rationalize, we're going to multiply it by itself, square root of 6, square root of 6. So we didn't change the value because anyway, square root of 6 over square root of 6 is just the same as 1. So any number multiplied by 1 is just itself, so we didn't change the value. Only its looks. We are changing its looks because we don't want to see a square root at the bottom. Alright, so square root of 6 over square root of 6 is square root of 6 squared. And then 2 times square root of 6 times 8 is 48x. So this becomes 2 square root of 48x. So the x is inside the radical signs. Sorry. Over square root of 6 squared is 6. We can reduce this. Both are divisible by 2, so it becomes 1 and 3. So now it becomes 2 squared of 48x over 3. Now we can reduce further the 48, I believe. We can separate it into 12 and 4. So 12 and 4 or 16 and 3. Yeah, 16 and 3. 16 times 3 times x. Because 16 times 3 is 48. And the idea there is 16 can be written as 4 squared, where we can get the square root of 4. So that's why we write it in that way, unlike the 12 times 4. And then copy the 3. So 16 can be written as 4 squared times 3 times x all over 3. Square root of 4 squared is 4. So we can take out 4, and what's left inside is 3. So you cannot cancel 3 and 3 here because they are different. The other 3 is inside the radical sign. That's why they are not the same. It cannot be canceled. So the final answer will be this. So we cannot cancel that. So this is the final answer for number 3. Alright, so I believe we didn't have some mistakes here. Alright, so that's it.